And on to debate number 2. Viewers, in Indore, which is India's cleanest city, at least has been ranked so, at least 8 lives have been lost because of the city's contaminated water taps. The main water line of the Narmada that waters the city is ruptured at multiple points. At one location, Bhagirathpura, a nearby toilet proved a killer as its sewage seeped into the drinking water pipeline. For more than 6 months, the people of the locality kept complaining of dirty water in the taps. They've even complained to the Chief Minister, but their pleas and cries fell on deaf ears. For 6 months, the system kept ignoring them, despite clearance to lay a new pipeline. Amongst those who've died is 6-month-old Avyan. He was born to his parents after 10 years of prayers, but the system let them down, snuffing out the young life and leaving the parents in pain. The mayor of Indore is on record saying that the residents had repeatedly complained of insects and worms and bad smell in the water, but officials kept sitting on files to change pipelines.
इसको लेकर आज से 6 महीने पहले भी मैंने निर्देश दिए थे कि भागीरथपुरा में या ऐसी कुछ 3-4 जगह और जहां से 311 पे या मुख्यमंत्री हेल्पलाइन पर गंदे पानी की सूचना मिल रही है, वहां तुरंत सारी नाइट लगन के निर्देश दिए थे। भागीरथपुरा की कई सारी लाइनों को बदलने के टेंडर भी 7वें महीने में लग गए थे, पर अभी तक वो स्वीकृत नहीं हुए। उसकी फाइल भी मैंने पूरी बुलाकर देखी है और कमिश्नर को निर्देशित किया है कि इसकी पूरी इंक्वायरी करें और दोषियों के खिलाफ कार्रवाई करें। इस पूरे विषय से मैंने
Now, while the mayor is clearly pointing towards lapses and locals are angry, they confronted Urban Development Minister Kailash Vijayvargiya, demanding answers.
भाई क्या हुआ बताओ।
ये हमारे उसमें डेनिस का लाइन, पीने के पानी में डेनिस की लाइन अटैच हो रही है, मगर इसकी कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही। आज काफी समय से 1.5 साल से हम लोग परेशान हैं। कंप्लेंट देने जाते टंकी पे, हमारी कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही है।
The minister then went on to downplay the number of people who died. When asked why the government is saying 4 when the death toll is at least 8, this is what he said.
देखिए, लगभग 1400-1500 लोग प्रभावित हुए थे, जिसमें से 198 हॉस्पिटलाइज हैं। अभी 2 लोगों को और भेजा, तो लगभग 200 लोग हॉस्पिटलाइज होंगे। कुछ डिस्चार्ज भी हुए हैं। अभी देखिए, अभी सरकारी आंकड़ा तो मेरे पास 4 ही है, पर यहाँ घूमने के बाद 8-9 लोग पता लगे हैं।
Opposition, meanwhile, is gunning for the BJP government in the state, blaming criminal negligence for the loss of life.
इंदौर शहर की जनता ने लगातार इनको सांसद दिया, 9 विधायक दिए, मेयर दिए, पार्षद दिए, और इनने बीजेपी ने पानी में जहर दिया, मौत दी।
ये शहर तो वो है इंदौर जहां पर कई बार अवार्ड मिला है वहां की म्युनिसिपल कॉर्पोरेशन को, और वहां ड्रिंकिंग वाटर की ये स्थिति हो कि जिन्होंने पिया उसकी जान चली गई हो और कई लोग बीमार हैं।
You're watching the News Hour at 10, debate number 2 on Times Now, Super Prime Time.
This takes us across to our guests now. Tushar Gupta and Kapil Madan continue from debate number 1, but joining us is Dr. Piyush Joshi, spokesperson of Aam Aadmi Party. And my first question is to Shashank Shekhar Jha, lawyer of the Supreme Court. Shashank Shekhar Jha, what a tragic situation that has unfolded in Indore. This is our cleanest city. There are about 20 smart cities and Indore is supposed to be the cleanest amongst them. And yet this kind of a criminal negligence happens where for over a year, the entire officialdom, the Babudom, sat upon the file for which the tender was to be given for the new pipeline. This is criminal negligence. But nothing will happen to the officials. At the most, somebody will be suspended. Will criminal action be taken against? And why shouldn't it be taken against these officials?
Namaste Madhavji and my fellow panelists here. Madhavji, this is really a sad and tragic incident where people have died while drinking water. However, what I feel is that we need to see the situation. Definitely, I am with you where you want action against those officials who have not acted properly and have actually misled people, leading to such a situation. However, I also have this one point of view that the investigation should be fair and check all the true and proper way. because there have been incidences in past where, anti-national people have actually misused these things and have intentionally contaminated such pipelines. So, to see, because now people are actually linking with clean city.
Completely disagree with you, Shashank. There are at least 8 people who've died. In fact, there's a question mark on the toll also, whether the government is suppressing figures. There are all sorts of questions that are arising. Let's not start calling people who are demanding accountability for the system as, those who are doing so under foreign influence. I think that's a huge disservice because the governments of the day are elected to serve the people.
No, Madhavji, I want proper SIT investigation under a sitting or retired Supreme Court or High Court judge. I do not have a problem in that. What I am saying is that proper investigation should be done. Everyone who is responsible should be punished. But we must also see if there is a malified act or malified intention behind this. Was it intentional? Was it intentional? Was it a way to target MP government or Indore city? I am saying that you punish everyone who is responsible.
Piyush Joshi, respond to that. Piyush Joshi, was there some kind of intent behind this? That's the question coming from Shashank Shikarja.
Certainly, there was an intent behind it, and it was the intention of the government of the day and the Indore Nagar Municipal Corporation. Let me explain why the intention is there. 8 months down the line, the work on the tender has not begun. Deepest condolences to those who have died. We are living in 21st century and we are still seeing diarrheal deaths, to which, till date, I am a doctor. I come from Indore, Madhav. I am living in the same city. At times, even my Narmada pipeline gives water contaminated with drainage, but thankfully I have the services of a water purifier at my house so that I don't die of a diarrheal death. E. coli, or whether it's a cholera or whether it's a viral diarrhea, till date we don't know the cause of the deaths, that why those people have died. We are fudging the numbers, we are fudging the data. So the intent is definitely there. That intent is of criminal negligence on behalf of the officials of the Indore Nagar Municipal Corporation. The intent is on behalf of the mayor and the sitting MLA.
Why do you say there's fudging of data?
Madhav, I come from the same city. I'm telling you the data. I'm telling you the hard data. It is the CAG report which has been citing as mentioning that 70% of the water is lost in transit. 70% of the water supply of Indore and Bhopal, almost 67 to 69% is lost in transit. Where does it go? It goes to the water mafia. You come to Indore, I invite you, the cleanest city of the country. I'll take you on a tour. The city is everywhere. यहाँ खुदा है, वहां खुदा है, आगे खुदा है, पीछे खुदा है. भैया नीचे देख के भी चल लेना, वहां खुदा है, गड्ढे में गिर मत जाना. This is the same place where rats are biting the neonates in the biggest government hospital of the state, MY Hospital. Does the health minister resigns? No, ये बीजेपी यहाँ त्यागपत्र नहीं होता भाई साहब. Whether नगरीय प्रशासन मंत्री resign? No. यहाँ पे बावड़ी कांड हो गया साहब. एक कथा हो रही थी, उसके अंदर 40 लोग मर गए, बावड़ी धंस गई. बावड़ी के ऊपर आपने टेम्पररी शेड बना रखा था. 30 people died in that tragic incident. Did anyone resign? No.
Okay, let's go one by one. Tushar, why I find this story particularly reprehensible is that, you have deaths that have taken place. It's supposed to be India's cleanest city. It's all dug up, as Piyush Joshi says. And, the reports coming in, even BJP's own councillor, Kamal Baghela, that we just spoke about, even he's writing about this, about what he's complained to the system, to the Chief Minister multiple times. He's called the 311 emergency and he says that Babu sat on the file and delayed it. So the governments of the day have a lot to answer for. And what I find particularly shocking is that this is a case where we are seeing different death tolls being reported. Why can't the government just come clean and put out the facts and figures as they've happened?
Absolutely. I think the government should come clean and report the deaths as in when they are being reported. And the government also needs to understand that if a Babu is sitting on a file somewhere, at the end of the day, the accountability rests with the government, not with the bureaucracy. It's high time we keep doing this to and fro between the government and the bureaucracy. Yes, the councillor has written a letter. Some bureaucrat somewhere must have been sitting on this file endlessly thinking it's not important. But who's the ones suffering today? The families, the ones who have lost their people, the ones who are actually mourning the loss of, the young ones. The government will be held accountable. I can tell you no one will resign. That is, something that we are accustomed to this in this country. But where is the accountability? Who's going to talk about the gaps? There is a bureaucratic gap for sure. Who's going to talk about the infrastructure failure? Who's going to talk about the ones who are the actual culprits? And they all need to come out in public. Shashank mentioned something about attempt to contaminate water supplies. Look, there have been attempts across the world to carry out such terror attacks. I'm not saying this one is a terror attack. I'm not saying that. But for the sake of the general public in this country, please make the findings of this entire investigation public very, very soon for the other local bodies to learn from it. If there is a cost to delayed pipeline infrastructure, the cost shouldn't be innocent lives. That's my simple point.
The cost should not be innocent lives. And, at the end of the day, the big question is that, and this affects all. The point is that, of course, the responsibility, Kapil Madan, is with the state government. But Congress is also a party that has been in power in the state of Madhya Pradesh. Why were they not doing anything? Were they raising their voices? Were they complaining about this? Because the first death shockingly happened as early as the 21st of December, as per some reports.
So, Madhav, let me begin by saying I would first want to respond to my good friend Shashank here. He mentioned that, this could be a planted thing, there could be a conspiracy, and there should be an, SIT. But let me just, open my remarks and, painfully, I must say that, calling this incident as a conspiracy is not only irresponsible, it's an insult to the dead. People have not died of the illness. People died because the state could not ensure that the water which is, reaching their home is safe. Rather than ensuring that it is safe, it was a sewage water. And if you see certain reports, which is very well reported in a wide section of media, the residents there have complained about the same numerous times. So once the residents have been raising this issue consistently and persistently, and despite this, something of this magnitude happens, I have no qualms, I have no doubts in saying that this amounts to criminal negligence. You should be initiating criminal investigations against the babus who are responsible. And let me also tell you, what's the response of the government? You've mentioned about Congress party, what they've done, what they would do. Who was in power previously in MP? It was what has... Now, once the state machinery has failed, to even ensure that the water that comes to your home is clean. People die because of that. You should be asking a question to them. And what is their minister saying? Have you seen the remarks of the minister when he was confronted by another media house? He made shameless remarks. And I think that's a fair question, because Shashank Shekhar Jha has power gone to the head of the mantris there in Madhya Pradesh. They failed at their job. When they're asked questions, they start abusing. And the skeletons are tumbling out of the closet. So please don't insult people's intelligence. Please don't, for instance, tell the parents of the child, Abhyansh, if I'm not mistaken, who's lost their lives, of the young child, because of the failure, the dismal failure of the government. Let's not even go down this road of conspiracy. Yes, if there is a conspiracy, if the SIT brings it out, fine, we can look at it. But going by all means, and just look at this letter of Mr. Baghela. If you've read Kanwal Baghela's letter, you will know the kind of criminal negligence that has taken place. And he's a member of the BJP. He's not from the Congress party or the Aam Aadmi party. What would you say to this letter, Shashank Shekhar Jha?
Madhavji, there are three aspects to this. Just give me 1 minute. First aspect is the investigation. I am saying do proper investigation, do all kind of investigation, and do proper research and make it public. Be it intentional, be it criminal act, be it any particular action whatsoever. Make a proper investigation and take action. Second thing, just 3 days back, a Twitter handle named Khurpech has actually brought out a very big thing where IAS officers and different bureaucrats have actually uploaded fake photos and AI generated images to get award from President of India. That was in terms of water.
That's got nothing to do with this case. Shashank, what is this? What kind of argument is this? We're talking about criminal negligence happening as far as governance is concerned. Why are you mixing up an issue from a different state? It's not even connected to this.
IAS officers and Babu.
Utter nonsense.
No. I'm saying
what is the connection to this case, Shashank? People don't do their job. You're complaining to somebody who uploads fake photographs. Even if that IAS officer has done it, although she has put out a statement denying it, even if that officer has done it, does that justify this kind of negligence in Madhya Pradesh?
No, because that was... No, definitely not. What I'm saying is that IAS officers and bureaucrats may be responsible and action must be against them. So that investigation should also include this.
Netas have no accountability. Elected leaders have no accountability.
Should be given to these families, proper
What are you saying, Shashank? Elected leaders don't have responsibility?
That is a proper investigation.
So you must speak with a little bit of sensitivity, please, at a time like this. This is extremely wrong. Kapil wants to respond to you. Kapil.
Let me just say, so what he's trying to say, let me just decode and simplify for the viewers what is he trying to say. He's saying, hold on, Shashank, hold on. What he's essentially trying to say is that he is basically drawing a false equivalence to another story where some, reports were false. So essentially he's trying to say there could be a possibility that these death stories are fake, their death certificates are fake, people who've been cremated are fake. I mean, there cannot be more irrational and more illogical defense to a situation like this.
No.
If he is trying to draw this kind of a equivalence, I am sorry.
Lies.
And my second point is, my second point is, he says, hold on. He says there should be an investigation. Are investigation कौन करेगा? Madhav करेगा? या तुषार करेगा? Who will do the investigation? It has to be done by the state. How many babus have been arrested? You please tell me. How many babus have been arrested so far? You please mention.
Hold on. Kapil, let me respond,
Okay, and but I must ask this question. In all fairness, Dr. Piyush Joshi, it's absolutely correct to question the Madhya Pradesh government for not being able to provide the people of, Indore clean water. But the equal question then comes to the Aam Aadmi Party. You have failed the citizens of Delhi in providing clean air. Successive governments are failing.
Sir, when we will debate about the Delhi pollution, I have my answers ready. We have debated on your program n number of times about the clean air and air pollution of Delhi and what measures we took and what measures we are taking in Punjab, which are very successful. Now let us debate about Indore right now.
Not at all, sir. IQ is very high for the record. But continue.
It is a triple engine ki sarkar in Madhya Pradesh. Indore has had a mayor of BJP for last 20 years. Indore has had a council of BJP for last 20 years. Local councillors of BJP, local MLA is Kailash Vijayvargiya. The adjoining area is of Ramesh Mendola, which Kailash Vijayvargiya used to represent before. Not even one babu can be placed without their will. The mayor of Indore, Pushyamitra Bhargava, is from the Kailash Vijayvargiya's team only. So who is responsible? Bhaiya, babu to Kailash ji ke kahe bagair hote nahi hai.
No two ways about it. No two ways about it. Arrogance after this kind of a tragedy, all netas should take note, is something that is completely reprehensible, and people are not going to forget these images. The images coming out of Indore are absolutely shocking. These are our smart cities, which are killing people because of the quality of water. You have the national capital, which does not have breathable air. That's the status of urban India, ladies and gentlemen. And is this something that we as citizens must just grin and bear and live with? That's a question, that's a thought I'm going to leave you all with. Tushar Gupta, Shashank Shekhar Jha, Kapil Madan, Dr. Piyush Joshi, thanks so much for joining us. The Times has accessed an exclusive copy of a letter written by BJP councillor Kamal Waghela to Chief Minister. This letter exposes criminal negligence on part of officials. According to this letter, the file for new Narmada pipeline was prepared on November 12, 2024, but officials kept the file pending for 7 months. The tender was finally issued on July 30th, 2025, and tender work was also not completed within the stipulated time.
ये जो क्राइसिस हुआ जहां हम खड़े हैं, इसी लाइन के विषय में टेंडर हुआ था। टेंडर सितंबर में हो गया था, पर उसका वर्क ऑर्डर करना और एलओई जारी करने में इतना लंबा समय गुजार दिया।
जो चिट्ठी है मेरे हाथ में इस समय, उसमें आपने लिखा है कि 12/11/2024 को फाइल तैयार कर उसे लगभग 7 माह अनावश्यक रूप से लंबित रखा गया।
जब कोई चीज का टेंडर हो जाता तो ये मान लिया जाता है कि ये प्लानिंग ठीक है, इंजीनियर द्वारा बनाई जाती है, और अब आपने टेंडर कर दिया, टेंडर ले लिया, तो उसको आगे की जो प्रोसेस है, वर्क ऑर्डर करना, एलओई जारी करना, निविदा करना, ये जिम्मेदारी है अधिकारियों की और समय पे होना चाहिए।
Sensational charge are coming in. In fact, that letter coming in as far as the BJP councillor's letter to the Chief Minister. Let's listen in to what the reaction came in then from Minister Kailash Vijayvargiya.
सर, आप मानते हैं अधिकारियों की लापरवाही रही है इस पूरे मामले में? गंभीर लापरवाही, चिट्ठियां लिखी गई थी, सीएम हेल्पलाइन में शिकायतें हो रही थी लगातार।
अभी तो हम सब पेशेंट ठीक हो जाए, स्थितियां कंट्रोल में आ जाए, उसके बाद हम देखेंगे, वो दोषी को बख्शेंगे।
वार्ड 11 के पार्षद है कमल वाघेला, उनकी एक चिट्ठी भी लगातार वायरल हो रही है। उसमें वो बाकायदा डेट बाय डेट उन्होंने लिखा है कि इस तारीख को प्रक्रिया पूरी हो गई, इस तारीख को टेंडर हो गए। 6 महीने से ज्यादा लंबित रखा गया अधिकारियों के अधर्मिता ने।
वो ध्यान आ गया है और इसीलिए मुख्यमंत्री जी ने जांच कमेटी बनाई। वो जांच कमेटी की रिपोर्ट के आधार पर ही हम कार्रवाई करेंगे।
Bakaran is joining us. Bakaran, yet another inquiry committee. Whenever there are deaths of citizens in this country, there is a committee that will be established. How will the blame be fixed? Will there be criminal action against the officials responsible for this delay? What do we know at the moment?
जी बिल्कुल, हमने आज कैलाश विजयवर्गीय से सवाल किया था कि जो कमल वाघेला है उनकी एक चिट्ठी वायरल हो रही है जिसमें साफ तौर पर वो अधिकारियों की शिकायत कर रहे हैं और इस शिकायत में उन्होंने लिखा भी है कि पिछले साल नवंबर महीने में उन्होंने फाइल तैयार की थी, उसके बाद जुलाई महीने में टेंडर हो गए लेकिन उसके बाद भी काम शुरू नहीं किया गया। ये सीधे तौर पर लापरवाही और अधिकारियों के खिलाफ ये आपराधिक प्रकरण बनता है और इसके ऊपर सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए और इसी मामले में अब जांच समिति भी एक गठित की गई है, एसीएस की अध्यक्षता में जांच की जा रही है और मुख्यमंत्री ने भी कल कहा था कि जो भी दोषी होगा उसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई की जाएगी। लेकिन इतनी मौतों का जिम्मेदार आखिर कौन है, इस पर सबने चुप्पी
Well, the whole country is watching what's unfolding in Indore. Makran, thanks so much for joining us with that breaking update.